Hey everyone, it's TJ here, back with Season 4 of The Princes of Parma. We're just getting ready to kick off our Champions League campaign. We've had a really good start to the season and we had a really good transfer window, I would say. Yeah, let's break it down. So, first off, one of the players we signed in January, he actually left towards the end of the season, and that was this man, Valentino Rosario. So he came to me at the end of the season saying, I wanted to play as a right winger. You didn't play me as right winger. To be fair, part of his signing on promises was that he wanted to play as an attacking mid, as a winger. I signed him as a right back, but it was non-negotiable. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna have to deal with it and deal with it when it comes. But he wanted to leave, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll try and pocket some money for you. Managed to sell him for 20 million, which was just under double what we bought him for. That funded quite comfortably the signing of Emerson and this guy, Nolan Galvez. He's only 19. He is going to be our backup right back. He's got 4 5-star potential. He's not actually played for us yet. I've only played 3 games. But he's someone that, you know, is surely going to be decent enough when he comes on, certainly against the smaller teams to begin with, just to try and develop him, bring him on. And worst case scenario, we sell him, we'll make money off him. Best case scenario, he becomes a really good right back for us. So, you know, it's a bit of a no-lose situation, really. So with the sale of Lazaro, that gave us just shy of 110 million in income that we generated last season. We did manage to sell Nicola Capaldo for 8.5 million to Freiburg. He's now worth 15.25, but to be honest with you, it was an absolute nightmare trying to sell him. He didn't want to go. But we managed to get just over 8 mil for him. Remember, we signed him for nothing. Sistano went. We managed to get a bit of small amount of profit on him. The rest of them are mainly just loans and like a few bit part players. Ranocchio, we signed him on a free. We developed him. We sold him for just under 500,000. You know, it was one of them. And then, yeah, the rest were loans. Marius Martras, he was someone we signed last season. Well, we signed him like off season and he joined in the summer. He's gone straight out on loan to Monza, I think it is, who are a decent Serie B team. They got relegated last season. So hopefully he's going to help bring them back up, get some game time. Again, another one might become a good centre-half for us, depending on how long this save continues to run for. If not, you know, again, someone we can sell. Signings, these are some of them here, these Turkish signings. We actually secured these about 2 seasons ago. But they've only just joined now because we had to wait until they were 18. Yari Vashirin, we touched on Vashirin. He has actually started out okay. First game, I brought him on as a sub for Serrano because Serrano pulled his groin after about 5 minutes. He had quite a poor game, and I inadvertently ended up substituting him off again at about 60 minutes for Ryan Gold, who ultimately did help change the game for us. Emerson, again, was someone we touched on. Nolan Galvez is someone we touched on already. Justin Cliver, managed to get him quite cheap. He is someone we wanted for backup for Vignato because he was so injury hit when he signed for us last season, and I just wanted some real quality depth at that wing position. He's quite comfortable playing on both the left and the right wing. In his full debut in our second game, he scored after about 5 minutes coming in off that right wing as an inside forward because he is quite comfortable playing with either foot. Says preferred foot right, but he seems quite comfortable playing with his left one. Thiago Alcantara, we signed him from Liverpool. Physical-wise, he's not that great. You know, he is 32. But I just wanted someone who could hopefully just run things for us a little bit in midfield. And again, in his debut, which again was in the second game, he played an absolute sublime pass through, which led to a goal. Not someone he's only signed on for a season. We've got the option to extend his contract. I'm not expecting him to, be a crucial player for us. But even if in just some of those games where we were really struggling to get the ball up to our attackers and create chances, hopefully that will just help us turn those results into wins. Who knows? He might become major for us, but I can just see him tapering off a little bit to the point where he almost has to be carried in that midfield a little bit. But if he can find the pass with that vision, technique, and passing, which just, maybe just gets us that one goal, then brilliant. Anton Hansen, he's another one I did touch on in the last episode. He is now 17. He was 16 when we signed him. He is got really good stats already for his age, really good attributes, and hopefully he's going to be a good striker option for us. This guy I've been really happy with, Alp Özbek. Signed him for Fenerbahce. He cost us a fair chunk of money, but the stats, his attributes are class. In that midfield, he is just never going to stop running, and he should hopefully be a bit of a destroyer and decent little playmaker for us if his passing can improve. He scored on his debut, first game of the season. He scored. He's been quite solid for us since then. We nearly sold Arezzo. I had an offer for him from Leipzig for 35 million, which I accepted, but he rejected. Excuse me, but he rejected them. But as it turned out, things have been okay. We managed to register Talisca and all our other non-EU players that we wanted registering. We couldn't sell Douglas Costa, and it would have cost us about 3 million to cancel his contract. So he is now just in the under-20s. He wouldn't leave, so I'm like, well, I'm not playing you. He had quite a damning report from one of my coaches. Basically said he had somewhat collapsed as a footballer over the last 12 months. He's now only considered a Lega Pro player, which is essentially the Italian third division. So he's not even good enough for the second division, apparently. So yeah, he's just going to sit in the under-20s and see out his contract there, unless he turns around and says, actually, yeah, I'll leave now. And now onto the results. So the Bologna game was we went 1-0 down, pulled it back, made it 2-1 at half time, then went 2-2, and then we won 4-2. Spal, we won 4-0. Napoli, now this is the one I was a bit nervous about. So obviously, as you can see, 4-2 against Bologna, 4-0 against Spal. Both are games that I would have expected us to have won anyway. The Bologna one wasn't as comfortable as I wanted it to be. But then Napoli, I thought, Napoli are a good team. They've got a new manager. They could be quite tough for us. We did go 1-0 down. Nico Serrano from the edge of the Napoli box tried to play a pass all the way back into, basically into the centre circle to Thiago. It was a poor pass. Thiago couldn't get it. A Seaman picked it up, ran, bombed down, pulled it back, and they scored. That was after about 6 minutes. And I was like, for heaven's sake. But then Serrano redeemed himself, got the goal, and then Valenti scored from a corner. Arezzo then quickly scored another one straight after, and then Vignato wrapped it up. 12 goals in 3 games. Now, as you can see, Arezzo goal, 2 goals, 2 goals, and a goal. He's got 5 goals and 2 assists in 3 games. To the point where basically I started him in the Bologna game, thinking if he does well, hopefully someone will come in for him. Put a bit of value on his transfer. No one came in for him in the end, and I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine. I was like, Spal game, I was like, he scored twice and set up one last time. I might as well play him again. He set up Kleibert's goal, and he scored 2 on his own. To the point where Esposito, he came off the bench and he scored. I played him up front with Arezzo. Started Esposito against Napoli. Didn't score, brought Arezzo on, and he scored. So Arezzo is kind of picked up from where he left off. Last season, where he got 5 goals and assists in the last 5 games, I think he's on something like he scored a goal now in his last 7 league games, something like that, 6-7 league games he scored. So yeah, he's hit the ground running, and it might be someone that will be glad that we didn't sell him this season, even if it just means that we get double what we would have got for him from Leipzig next season. But I feel bad on Esposito because I absolutely love him, and I'm struggling to justify playing him at the moment. I'm going to try and work on a tactic which can get them both in the team together. Obviously, I have my 5-3-2, but I don't know whether to maybe do like a 3-4-3 or something like that. So today we have our first game in the Champions League. We are playing Atletico Madrid away. On paper, you might think the draw looks quite nice. But it's important to bear in mind that Atletico Madrid have won La Liga for the last 3 seasons in a row. And Dortmund, to be fair, I think have sold pretty much everyone. And they still have Sancho. They still got Reina, but obviously they sold Haaland. Moukoko, you might remember, he left. We tried to sign him. He went to Leverkusen. And they still got Bellingham. No, they got Tielemans as well. But their team really is good, but I'd like to think, we might be able to steal something from them. Club Brugge are, probably not going to threaten us too much, hopefully. But then again, we thought that about Salzburg, and we beat Salzburg at home and then got battered by them away. So I think we've got a better chance this season of getting through into the knockouts. When you think last season, our group included Liverpool and Bayern Munich. But it's going to be tough. Atletico Madrid, we need to get a good result for. But as you can see, we've got 4 trophies to compete for this season. The Coca-Cola Super Cup, which is essentially, I believe, is the... usually it's the winner of the league and the winner of the cup. But obviously Milan won the league and they also beat us in the final of the cup. Which is strange because I would have thought that second place would have played in this kind of like it does for the Community Shield. But it looks like it's me as the runner-up of the Coppa Italia. So, Ball don't really want us to win it. And, well, I'm bothered if we win it. And it's a bit of a bit part trophy. But at the same time, it'll be a bit of silverware. So I'll be honest, I'm going to pick up where I left off. You might think it's a bit brave going with quite an attacking formation against Atletico Madrid, 3 times winner of La Liga in the last 3 seasons. But we played really well against Napoli, and I don't really want to risk changing that. Yeah, Serrano's tired, so he's dropping out, and Kluivert's going to come in there. Vignato's had a good start to the season. He stayed fit. Gold is struggling. I'm just going to lead with Verschaeren. If someone can tell me how to pronounce that properly, great. Actually, I could Google it, to be fair. But yeah, we're going with Alp. Not usually a fan of playing 2 playmakers like that in some ways. In fact, I'll stick him on defend. But it seems to have worked okay so far. Usually I like to have maybe like a BBM or a BWM and then a playmaker. But, we'll go with that. Arezzo, he's got to start. He's got to start. Got to try and get some of the other players in. Nonto, he's not played yet this season. My plan was basically to sell Arezzo, have Esposito as my main number 9, and start playing Nonto as more of a striker rather than as like an inside forward or a number 10. But Arezzo stayed and he's been immense. So yeah, this is what we're going with. So let's see the Atletico team. Morata up front. Felix, Correa, Koke. Okay, who else did they have there? Can we do it? This will be a great marker for us if we can get the win here. Even a draw. I'll take a draw, to be fair, at the Wanda. They played Saul as a centre-half. Lamar, of course, yeah. I thought it might have been him, but sometimes he goes, I find. Sometimes someone like City comes in and snaps him up. Also got, yeah, Saul and Aya, centre-halves. I might just sit back a little bit. Just drop the defensive line down just slightly. Morata's not the quickest, but I don't want them to be playing balls in and behind. I mean, no shots for us yet, but 20 minutes in and we've limited them to a corner, glanced over the bar. I think that's what's encouraged me so far, though, is we've actually played really well. Like against Napoli, even though, yeah, you could say, of course, you were comfortable, it was 4-1. we only scored the second goal in the 70th minute. Up until then, we were playing very, very well. Very, very well. I'm not particularly happy with this right now, though. Kluivert's having a poor game. Thiago's having a poor game. Arezzo's not doing great either. Don't like that Thiago's on a booking as well, because he's not the quickest. I don't want him to just bring someone down. If they get past him and get sent, get a second yellow. Great save. That was poor from Alp then. Okay, let's just get to half time and I'll make some subs. Made 2 changes. Cristante's on for Thiago, and Talisca is on for Kluivert. So we have put Cristante on as the deep line playmaker on defend, and we've actually put Alp Özbek onto a BBM. A lot of players are struggling. I know some of them are tired, but a lot of them are struggling. But amazingly, still 0-0. This is some nice football. Great ball. Okay, is that our first shot? That's our first shot. First sight for Arezzo. Didn't do much with it, but right. Come on, it's time for the babe. Good save. Didn't like how easily he got that chance though. Come on. That's too easy. Far too easy. But it's still 0-0. And I would take this. I would definitely take this. Let's just start slowing things down a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on, lads. One last push. Let's try and just steal a goal. Go a bit more direct. If we lose the ball or a group, we'll drop a little bit deeper. Nil-nil at Atletico, and they have battered us. Certainly on the shots anyway. Possession-wise, it's been quite even. With the tackle, but Koke gets it. Come on, we've done so well here to hold this out. Let's not just let it slip now, just due to a lack of concentration. Orsolini nearly just running through our entire team. Good header away by Valenti. Come on, drop it. You gotta drop in for that. Can you get the flick on? No. That Tomas Estevez, we looked at signing him as a right back. Porto wanted like 40 million for him though. And I already had Emerson, and I wasn't going to spend 40 million on someone who was essentially going to be backup. Nearly there. Talisca's just picked up on a sloppy goal kick from our black. Emerson plays it into Cristante. What can we do? Plays it out to Petzela. This is probably going to be our last real poor cross. It's not our black, it's Musso. Just assumed it was our black. It was a poor cross, too close to the keeper. And now they're going to try and counter Morata with the ball. Well, that was disappointing. Held out for so long. Don't get me wrong, Atletico definitely deserved the win. But I was hopeful that we would have just held out for long enough to have stolen the draw. But you know what? That's encouraging. We had quite a few key players not perform. So if we can iron that out, who knows? Maybe when it comes back to the Ennio Tardini, we can maybe get something out of that. I mean, yeah, you could argue I could have gone more defensive to start with. Maybe played like a number 6, just sitting in front of the back 4. Whether that would have changed the fact that Morata scored a bit of a screamer from the edge of the box, probably not. Also, if we'd have sat back a little bit more, that might have invited even more pressure. Who knows? It is what it is. And we'll just go again. We'll just go again. At the end of the day, the worst case scenario, I think, out of this group is that we come third and we drop into the Europa League and we'll have a good crack at that. If we can steal second place, I'll be made up. That episode should be dropping maybe even later on today or tomorrow. That game will be against Dortmund at home. And then we finish with a game against Club Brugge in the Champions League. So yeah, next episode will be Dortmund at home, and then the one after that will be Club Brugge away. I am going to skip a lot of the league, certainly for the first half of this season, because the Champions League is the main one. And depending on how the season's panning out, I might stick a league game in, as part of a double header. But I'm also just conscious of the fact, as we touched on last time, we've not got long until the FM22 beta drops out. I am doing a Dortmund save for that beta, as discussed. Dortmund last won the Champions League in the 96-97 season. Beat Juventus 3-1 in the final. 2021-2022 is the 25-year anniversary of that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting to win the Champions League in the first season, but let's try and channel the spirit from that season into getting the Champions League winning in the beta save. And then the sort of first proper save of FM22. Not sure what it'll be yet. I want to do a Leverkusen save at some point as well. This season is the 20 years of the bridesmaid by a Leverkusen season where they were runners up in the Champions League, the league, and the cup. So let's see if we can win something with them. Interestingly enough, they've never actually won the Bundesliga, so that'll be a challenge for us to win their first Bundesliga. But I'm also conscious of the fact that I don't want to spend too much time, with the first 2 series to be in Germany. So we might mix it up. We might do like a small nation save, maybe go Eastern Bloc, like Serbia or Czech Republic or someone like that. If you've got any thoughts, what do you guys want to see? What sort of episode, episodes and series do you want to see? What club do you want to see? A lower league one? Do you want to see a Pentagon challenge? Let me know. I'm open to suggestions, really. What do you guys want from this channel going forward into FM22? Please do let me know below. And, if we have a few different ideas, we'll run a poll, see which wins. If you enjoyed the video, do drop a like. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.